It is currently 5:45 a.m. I woke up a little bit earlier than expected and decided to just get up since the crowds throughout Kyoto, especially in some of the main attractions, get chaotically busy. And I wanted to check out the Arashiyama bamboo forest today. I was planning to originally wake up around 6, which I'm sure would have been fine. But maybe now I'll be able to experience it a new way, being here right after sunrise. So no expectations. I mean, I just want to take it all in, and regardless of how many people there are or what it's like, I just want to take it for what it is. So excited to check out this spot since this is one of the locations I was most looking forward to checking out in Kyoto. Seeing the sunrise filter through the bamboo was mesmerizing. That was unbelievable. And it was so quiet. There's not too many people. People are starting to filter in more, and I'm sure as more and more metros and trains and buses start coming through, it'll continue to get busier. I have a few hours to kill now before checking out some of the temples since they don't open until 8:30. But not a bad place to just sit. I'll probably just journal a little bit and just continue taking it all in. You know, I will say, though I've been solo traveling for some time now, it's not necessarily my preferred method of travel, but yet in moments of true quiet, peace, and serenity, like now, just trying to take in the details of the moment, I'm really just trying to savor these moments, knowing that they're temporal and they're unique to this time period in my life, and that I don't know how many solo trips I'll have in the future, but I just want to embrace this one for what it is and take it all in and really just enjoy little moments like this. It is close quarters in the Nishiki Market, but a lot of cool food, little trinkets, great place to go shopping. You can get so many different foods on a stick. We got a little octopus on a stick, some eel and crab on a stick, and some yakitori. I was clearly very hungry. That was my lunch before I got some more food. But it was cool. There's a lot to look at. Nishiki Market, it was just very tight because it was a small space and there's a lot of people, but would definitely recommend. When people say that Kyoto is busy with tourists, they are not joking. Walked around the Gion District and some of the other main sites, a couple of the shrines nearby, and you're definitely weaving in and out of people, but it's for good reason. This place is incredibly beautiful and there's so many cultural sites. Kyoto is considered to be one of the cultural hearts of Japan, and it's a completely different feel than Tokyo for sure. It's definitely at 180 there. Kanazawa, where I just went, it's considered Little Kyoto, so it's like a smaller version. Oh man, look at this, it's beautiful here. There's some bamboo right behind me. It's so cool, and it really complements like all the maple trees, and there's just such a nice variety of vegetation here. But anyways, all that to say that I woke up early and I'm walking around going through the Philosopher's Path, which features a bunch of different temples, and really just want to spend this time trying to be as present as possible. Often when I'm walking through busy areas, I have my AirPods in and I'm listening to music, but especially this morning as it's quiet, I really just want to focus on being present and just listening to my environment and trying to capture the details of the beauty around me, and there's definitely a lot to take in. I'm here a little bit too early to see the proper autumn foliage, but you can see some maple trees behind me are starting to turn. So it's a nice little treat to appreciate. And also look at these lilies. It's a beautiful pond. Oh, nice. Some fish down there too. Let's go. I hesitated to pull the camera out, but there's nobody here on the Philosopher's Path. The rain is drizzling ever so slightly. There's a gong from a temple playing in the background. Little bugs in the background. You can hear the wind rustling the leaves. Some of the greatest serenity I found in a little over a week and a half in Japan. If you're gonna come here, definitely come early in the morning. Even though it's not particularly early right now, it's about 9 a.m. on a Sunday. But I suppose the temples down south are still closed, but yeah, just really appreciating this. So I'm gonna put the camera away. I walked through the Golden Pavilion, which, as I came to understand, was originally a private residence before eventually it was converted to a temple. I can only imagine if it was originally covered in the gold leaf when it was private residence, what a flex and show of wealth that must have been. But it was really stunning, especially in the sun, seeing that layer of gold leaf. It really shined and really caught the eye in a unique way. And walking over from there, I came to this temple, Ryoan-ji, because there's a rock garden here. And the rock garden itself has been in this location for over 500 years. And it has so much beauty in the simplicity of just sitting there in awareness and really just taking in beauty through the process. I definitely can't speak on Zen Buddhism very much, but my very simplistic understanding is that it is neither a religion nor necessarily philosophy, but rather this practice or pursuit of equanimity in seeking a greater sense of spiritual attainment or enlightenment by full awareness of both yourself and the environment in this beautiful synchrony. So when you walk through Zen garden and they, enable and support this sense of mindfulness, it's so that you can be more present and use that in order to fulfill that sense of equanimity. And I might be completely off base there, but at least for myself personally, like sitting there at that rock garden, there's really a lot of beauty in the detail when you're looking out in it, because there's these shapes that are created within these little rock pebbles surrounding the rocks. And when you lose yourself and just breathe and try to be present and try to process, then it allows you to find this peace in the simplicity in the moment. And it's such a hard thing to practice, but I think with a lot of Kyoto, it's such a spiritual place with how many temples there are here, with how many beautiful gardens there are. And it's quite ironic because it's so touristic here and there's so many people, which whenever you're walking through crowds of people and it's noisy, there's so much distraction. But it's funny because a lot of what I understand, at least the essence of these temples, is to find that presence. And I don't think, large crowds necessarily prevents that from happening. It just adds a little bit of layers of resistance to find that presence of mind and not be as distracted. But all that to say that it's practice, and I think all of that is part of the practice, is being able to embrace, the chaos, even whenever there's a ton of people all around you. And yeah, Kyoto just has so many temples. There's so many different ones to explore. I don't think you could possibly, even scratch the surface on one short trip. And I don't necessarily think that's the point either. I think even just going to a few and really trying to be present and whatever that means for you, I think there's a lot of value that at least I'm getting out of that, and really trying to practice just, peace within the moment and, just using it as opportunity and space to breathe and be present. I've really gotten a lot out of that. I am by no means any authority in Zen Buddhism or really mindfulness for that matter, but the reason any of this is really important for me is it's all about just growing in awareness and presence of mind so that we can be more content with what's right in front of us. It's in those moments we find flow and joy in conversation or in what we're doing, rather than just doom scrolling and looking for something new to just, feed that dopamine cycle. And we all fall into it. It's part of our environment. That's why mindfulness is a practice. It's something that has to be worked at, and it's a major struggle for me, but it's something that I just keep coming back to because I know that through the practice, we, can eventually be more present-minded. And it's through that presence of mind, through that true awareness in what we're doing, that we can actually squeeze the juice out of life and experience the little things, the simple things. And it's so much easier said than done. It takes this very systemic effort, and that's why I do a lot of yoga and try to meditate as much as I can, because it's a practice. Whatever we can all do to better enforce a sense of presence and mindfulness, the better we can actually enjoy the little things in life. And it's the little things that actually matter. But those are some things that I find really important, that I struggle with, but it's all part of the journey. And there's ups and downs, but as long as you just keep chipping away, I think it's the growth and the journey that matters. All right, I'm guilty of being a silly American right now, because though I love Asian food of all variety, and especially Japanese food, I needed something other than noodle or rice or meat. I really needed some more vegetables in my life, so I stopped by a salad bowl place. But the kicker, this place called With Green, really good, fresh vegetables. But the kicker is, one of the protein options is chicken gizzard. And if you don't know what that is, it's chicken stomachs, which is an organ meat. So it's full of nutrients. It's really chewy, and I actually really like it. I've been getting it at the convenience stores as a little snack because it's just packed with nutrients, and I find it pleasant. Definitely an acquired taste, but it's just so Japanese to take this Western concept, but then include chicken gizzards on the menu. Oh, but it was great though, very much needed. I'm very happy. Oh my goodness, I just capped off my day at the Nishiki Market, grabbed some sashimi that I did not film because it just went straight into my belly. And then I stopped and got this mochi that had this cream cheese caramel filling that wasn't quite like ice cream. It was ethereal in that it evaporated in your mouth. Ethereal seems like such a strange word to use to describe food, but that's what comes to mind. But man, that is just such a great way to end the day. It's been delightful. I love the food here in Japan. I love Japan. So stimulating. Kyoto especially, it just has so many cool things to check out. There's an abundance of things to do. Just feeling extremely grateful right now. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've dealt with some ups and downs in my first week and a half in Japan that I won't really get into. It's just, personal stuff that happens, and just always feel so grounded in remembering how lucky I am to be able to explore and check these things out and gain perspective, and also just kind of enjoy myself, since I've been, working a lot, and I tend to be hard on myself and push myself, and sometimes it's good to just, kick back, just enjoy life. So feeling super grateful, super grateful. I'm here at Fushimi Inari, and it is absolutely wonderful. I did not realize the setting that this would be in, that it would literally be on the side of a mountain in this forest. And so the red of these Torii gates contrasted with the deep greens of the forest creates such a beautiful experience walking through. Especially as you come up further, you can find more moments of solitude. It's truly something special. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Absolutely amazing. This is why you come to Japan, to see some really unique things. It really tickles the senses, that's for sure. It's funny because there's a loop to get to the top of this mountain, and there's not a view at the top. So it's really just a continuation of these gates. It is still nice since there's less foot traffic, so it's easier to slow down, at least for myself personally. But it's a funny little reminder that it's not always about the destination, right? Just appreciating the process is where the beauty lies, right? I'm in Gion and I stopped into this tea house to try some premium matcha, and what the server explained is that often when you buy matcha in cafes, it's blended from a variety of sources, whereas this matcha, they receive it straight from the farmer, and it's definitely the most unique matcha I've ever tried because it's just so smooth. There's no bitterness. You still feel that earthiness, but it's in that background. It's more of a prolonged sensation, and it's just gentle, but you can still feel the sensation of the matcha. So it's really a delightful experience. It's very creamy and it's rich in a very soothing way. Also, this is a very nice little environment with the garden on the outside. Yeah, trying to describe this matcha, it feels like an oxymoron because it's light but also so rich. Because when you really sit there, the sensation is there. There's texture, there's earthiness, and it's just prolonged and balanced under the subtlety. So definitely, I think the best matcha I've had, and I'm by no means a matcha connoisseur. I just thoroughly enjoy it. You know, it's probably currently my caffeine source of choice. Back home, I consume it most days over the last year. So that definitely does not make me an expert, but this one just stands out amongst my experiences. I've had some matcha most days while in Kyoto and Japan in general. Today's really the matcha day because I just went and got some matcha soft serve. This place called Matcha House with 2 C's. And they have several locations here in Kyoto. And it was so good. It was so creamy and it wasn't too sweet. It just melted in your mouth. And honestly, I'm just pinching myself for not having more matcha soft serve while here because that was delightful. And Kyoto is the matcha capital of Japan. So I have been getting lots of matcha and it's been delightful. If you like matcha, this is the place to be. And whenever, you know, God willing, I make it back to Kyoto one day, just gotta have more matcha soft serve, I guess. I've also noticed more people than usual in Japan and Kyoto, especially with cameras. And I don't know if that's just people that are into travel photography go out of the way to Japan. That's probably the case, honestly, because everything here is just so photogenic. The atmosphere, the environment, everything is so aesthetically pleasing. And the word that really comes to mind is elegance. Like even on the street, like this door behind me with the vertical lines and just the structure is marked through Gion right now. Everywhere, especially at night, whenever all these lanterns are lit up, it's just gorgeous. That's a little loud. I'll turn around. It's just gorgeous. This is really a travel photographer's dream. So there's definitely a correlation there, but it's just, especially when the weather's not too hot, it's so pleasant to walk around, especially when you get away from the crowds and just walk around slowly and really just pay attention and look around. I feel like the entire time I've been here, my head's been on a swivel, just looking in every direction. Today was just an incredible day of eating to close out my time in Kyoto, from having some of the best matcha possible to going to Nishiki Sushi Shin, which is incredible sushi. Great value. Wasn't cheap, but for the quality that you get, it's still incredible value. And then I went and got dinner at actually an Israeli place to get some chicken shawarma that was so tender. The chef, the owner, was incredibly friendly, and so we had a great conversation. And you know, those are the moments that really enrich me, just to feel like, you know, there's a genuine connection of just talking vulnerably and just seeing somebody, and especially enjoying food. You know, food is something that connects us all. So it's just, I feel really fulfilled, you know, leaving Kyoto, and this place has so much to offer. It's so busy, especially where I'm at right now, but for good reason. Like I've said, there's just so much to do here, and I really hope that one day I'll be able to come back to this amazing city with beautiful shrines, lots of opportunity for peace and exploration and good food. And yeah, just extremely grateful as always to be able to travel, but to be able to go to a place like this. Kyoto was near the top of my list of places I was really excited to visit, and it did not disappoint. So with that being said, really appreciate you coming along with me on this journey. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care. Talk soon.